How to change your life. Stay tuned. Hey, this is Damon Court from NLP Gym, bringing you cutting-edge Neuro Linguistic Programming tools and techniques to help you create the life that you desire. So if that sounds good, please click subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can get these videos on a regular basis. Who said you are what you settle for? Now, I know that sounds like something Tony Robbins probably has said, and maybe he has, but actually that comes from Janis Joplin, the singer. Janis Joplin said that in her final interview. Now, I'm not suggesting that you imitate the habits of Janis Joplin. Actually, she had some pretty unhealthy and dysfunctional ways. However, when you think about what she was able to accomplish in her lifetime, she broke major barriers and broke down walls in the music industry, especially in rock and roll and blues. She wasn't a political activist. She wasn't pushing a feminist agenda. She was just wanting to do what she wanted to do, and nothing was going to stop her. So it makes sense to me when I heard her say that in an interview, because she just wasn't willing to settle for anything. She wasn't willing to settle for a traditional role that was probably pushed on her and that she was probably pressured in the 60s when she was coming up. And there was no person for her to imitate or emulate. There was no role model. There was no one who had done in rock and roll what she had done. So it was purely a matter of she knew what she was capable of, she knew what she wanted to do, and she would not settle for anything less than that. Let this sink in. You are what you settle for. And you make that decision, whether conscious or unconscious about it, you make that decision every single day, what you're willing to settle for. The extent of which you grow yourself, the extent to which you evolve yourself and that you grow your life is whatever you're willing to settle for. This is not a reprimand. I am not here to tell you what you should and should not settle for. That's completely up to you. That's your life. You make that choice. Maybe you put yourself out there. Maybe you tried. Maybe you had an interest, a belief in something. You put your heart and soul into it and it absolutely failed. Or maybe you gave someone trust in your feelings and you trusted that person with your heart, and then that person betrayed you or broke your heart. So you're not willing to try. You don't want to put yourself out there. You retracted from it. You pulled away from it. It was painful, and you don't ever want it to happen again. So you've settled for safe, but it's not really satisfying you. You settled for not suffering. You settled for moving away from. You settled for not wanting to feel that pain again, for a safer existence. Safer in the sense that because you're not putting yourself out there, because you're not trying, because you're not putting everything you have into something, then you are lessening the disappointment that you may have in life. But there's a different pain now, a different suffering. This is your inner wisdom letting you know that you could be more, because you're ultimately unsatisfied with your life. It doesn't mean that your life is bad. You have the basics down, you make enough money to pay your bills and maybe even set aside some for savings, but you know that you're not all that you could be. You know that you're not doing all that you could be doing. It's like it's your inner Janis Joplin letting you know, maybe singing to you, that there's more and you're capable of more. You have greater potential than what you're actualizing right now. Just for the record, I have failed far more times than I have succeeded. In all of the things that I've tried, I have definitely failed far more times than I've ever succeeded at anything. And I've been crushed many times with disappointment. I've also had my heart broken several times. I'm amazed when I talk to people about this particular subject and they tell me about the problems that they've had, the disappointments that they've had, the failures, the broken hearts. And I ask them, okay, well, how many times did you really put yourself into something and try really hard and fail? And it's usually only like once or twice. And then I'll ask them, well, how many times have you had your heart broken in a relationship? Again, it may be once or twice. And I think to myself, is that all that stops you? If you look at the most successful people, those are the ones who have failed the most times. What I can say about it is that heartbreak and failure, they do get easier the more you try and fail. It still hurts. It definitely hurts when it happens. But you know that there are glorious successes. There are glorious rewards on the other side. There may not be as often as the failures, but you know that they're coming. You know that something will come of even a failure. You start to realize that failure is just a part of the process of success, but even greater than achieving success is that failure is just a part of creating the life that you desire. Now, this is not for everyone, and I'm not trying to convince you that you should be doing this. You should be putting yourself out there all the time and going after everything that you want to go after and putting your heart out on the line. Like I said, it's not for everybody, but there are some of you who are watching this who want to follow their heart and you're hesitating. And what this video is, it's a message to you to do that. It's not going to be easy. It will hurt sometimes, and you will most definitely fail and experience crushing disappointment. But there is life beyond that if you move through it. And a lot of people, like I said, they withdraw, they pull in, they say, I don't want that. Let me get it away. Let me go to a safe place. And that's fine. If you're okay with that, then do that. But there is something on the other side if you just push through it. To give you a little reassurance, there is something called the law of averages. I'm not going to go into a full-on explanation of it. It's easy to look up and find. But what it states is that, of course, the more you try, the more you will succeed. And there is a certain average of how many times you try to how many times that you will succeed. So it's a mathematical certainty that if you try enough times, you are going to succeed at some point. And the best part is not even the wealth or the things that you accumulate from becoming successful. The best part is who you become in the pursuit of what it is you want and desire. The best part is who you become in spite of the failures and the disappointments. It's the life you create as you pursue and fail and succeed along the way. And it's the story of your life. It's the story you create for yourself. When you become the champion of your own life, always getting back up after you've fallen, then you will truly live your life's purpose. This is essentially what the hero's journey really is. The side effect is that you live a more purposeful, more meaningful, more successful life. And you can't buy that with money. I don't care how much money you have. If you've inherited all your money and you've never had to work for that, you've never had to try and fail and then try and fail until you finally succeed, you can't buy those experiences. You can't buy the character that creates. You can't buy those stories. They're yours and yours only. And what's really cool about it is that oftentimes you can actually turn that into money and wealth. So if you're not satisfied with your life, take responsibility for having made the choice to settle for what your life is like right now. Now, that doesn't mean that you created any of the bad things that have happened to you. If bad things have happened to you that weren't a direct result of something you did or a consequence of having taken a risk, then no, that's not your fault, and that's not what this is about. This is about what you've settled for. So if bad things have happened and you just accepted it and didn't do anything about it, then that's what you've settled for. If you feel like you live a mediocre existence, and that's not for me to judge and that's for no one else to judge, but if you feel like that's what you're living, that's what you're settling for. So the start of changing all of this is to take responsibility for your life and what you've settled for. And that's when you can start making new choices. When you make those new choices, then your life will change. But first, you have to take responsibility for your life the way that it is. That what you've settled for was based on the choices you've made. Now, you might not have even been conscious of these choices, but now you are. So look around, look at your life, Understand this. And when you do, and you can realize what the choices are that you've made that have created the life that you have right now, then you can start to change them. Start changing what your choices are. Stop settling for what you don't want to settle for anymore, and start living the life that you know you were meant to live. Check out my free webinar on the 3 problems with NLP trainings today and how to overcome them with one simple solution. This training won't last very long. I will only keep it up for about another 11 days. So claim your training right now. Also, check out my website, nlp-gym.com. There you'll find some more free training as well as some hypnotic inductions that you can download immediately to your laptop, your phone, or your tablet. Check out NLP Gym on Facebook if you'd like to get real-time updates on whatever it is that I'm up to, possible trainings that I'm doing, online trainings, or possibly even giving a talk in your area. Last but not least, if you like this video, please click like right down here. And remember, if you haven't already, click that subscribe button so you can get these videos on a regular basis. Take care.